Six Flags just announced some juicy plans for the 2026 season. This will include a whopping $525 million in enhancements. This will include new rides, themed areas, dining upgrades, and overall park improvements. The chain put out a press release this morning specifically calling out 9 different additions. In this video, I will explain what these additions could be and where they could be going. Earlier this year, Six Flags and Cedar Fair officially merged. While the new chain kept the Six Flags name, the upper management is more comprised of former Cedar Fair officials. Over the past few months, there have been a wide range of surveys sent to the parks, and I think most of these additions line up with the surveys. First is Carowinds. The press release today states that they will be receiving a record-breaking water ride. The Carowinds survey had 2 rides that could satisfy this, a mock water coaster or a super flume. I am guessing this park is getting a super flume. This ride specifically was called out in a Carowinds survey as a record breaker, whereas the water coaster was not. The super flume described sounds amazing, and it would be a perfect fit for this Carolina theme park. The park is in dire need of water rides, given their hot climate. It would offer an experience more akin to the log flume rides found in Europe that offer turntables and backwards drops. And the ride ends with a quote-unquote, the world's tallest plunge and near 90-degree mega drop. I would suspect this could be a Whitewater West super flume similar to something like Wild West Falls at Warner Bros. Movie World in Australia, just with less theming. Although Cedar Fair has stepped up their theming game. As for where this could go, I think there are 2 options. First is the plot formerly home to Rip-Roaring Rapids. That Rapids ride occupied a large plot in front of Fury 325, and it has been closed ever since 2018. The other option would be where either Hurler or Carolina Cyclone currently reside. Survey markings have popped up next to both these rides, and as we'll see with a few other rides later in this video, a handful of the new for 2026 rides seem to be replacing recent removals. I would prefer the park to replace an already closed ride before removing another one that's currently running, but we will see where this ultimately goes. Next is Canada's Wonderland. They announced a record-breaking water attraction. It is a bit curious they listed attraction, whereas Carowinds listed ride, so maybe this goes to the water park versus the amusement side. None of the Canada's Wonderland surveys in recent years have listed a water ride. I am guessing they would not want to build a super flume that shares a record with the one at Carowinds. I'm guessing they want something unique. So my guess is the mock water coaster. We saw this concept on the surveys for other parks in the chain. It included versions with both a lift hill and a launch. My guess is some sort of launched water coaster because that record would be easier to obtain. Freizeitpark Plön in Germany is opening the first full-circuit multi-launch mock water coaster in 2026. This exact ride's concept art actually showed up in the Six Flags surveys. I could see Canada's Wonderland adding something similar, maybe just a little taller or faster. Another Dark Horse candidate would be a Zamperla Big Waves, which is a drop tower with a splash effect. I am guessing they would build one taller than the one currently in operation in Jeddah City. The chain has had a lot of rides from Zamperla in recent years, and this ride would be easy to fit in the park given its smaller footprint. Fitting a larger attraction like a water coaster could be tricky without removing something. Recently, survey markings have been spotted by Dragonfire, an aging Arrow looping coaster. While that ride is okay in my opinion, it clearly is not as popular as it once was. That plot would be able to accommodate a large new water ride, so that spot is certainly a possibility. Kings Island listed a new Family Thrill attraction. Multiple surveys called out a Family Thrill coaster, including the one for Kings Island. It is a bit suspicious they called out attraction instead of coaster like some other parks, but I think this is the addition if we're following those surveys. The ride on the survey is advertised as the world's longest family coaster, with 4,500 feet of track. It would have 3 launches, multiple tunnels and near misses, and a 6-story tall reverse spike to send you backwards. Most of Kings Island's recent coasters have been of the high thrill variety. The one exception was Snoopy's Soapbox Racers in 2024. That coaster only runs one train, so the park definitely has a need for another high-capacity family coaster, which this hopefully can be. Multiple manufacturers could make a ride like this. The two most likely candidates seem to be Gerstlauer and Intamin, and I'm really curious to see if the chain goes with either of these companies. Six Flags has not ordered a new ride from Gerstlauer in over a decade after the fallout from the new Texas Giant accident, which used Gerstlauer trains. But Fiesta Texas did just order another Gerstlauer train for Iron Rattler, so the lines of communication are clearly open. Cedar Fair, meanwhile, has worked with Gerstlauer recently, but they have not ordered a new ride from Intamin in a very long time. Their issues with that company are well documented between accidents, undersold capacity, and modifications, but Intamin can build something reliable with proven technology if you ask for that. A lot of the older Cedar Fair Intamins push the envelope. I think the obvious spot for this to go is in the former Vortex plot. That Arrow looping coaster closed back in 2019, and that end of the park has felt quite dead without a coaster to pull guests over there for many years. Not Soak City is getting a water park refresh and aesthetic improvements. I have not been to this park because the slide lineup did not appear to have anything unique to justify me sacrificing time at Knott's Berry Farm. The park is fairly landlocked, so I doubt they'll get a big expansion. So my guess is the park is mostly getting a glow up, and maybe some theming. And if they're lucky, maybe they can squeeze a new water slide in somewhere. Now let's delve into the former Six Flags parks. I will start with the easiest addition. Six Flags Over Texas is getting a record-breaking dive coaster. Both Cedar Fair and Six Flags had added B&M dive coasters in recent years. Six Flags Great America is adding Wrath of Rakshasa next year. Then Canada's Wonderland currently has Yukon Striker. This was added in 2019, and it's currently the world's tallest dive coaster at 223 feet, or 68 meters. Multiple Cedar Fair and Six Flags surveys, including the one for Over Texas, mentioned a giga or 300-foot tall dive coaster. I suspect this will be the addition. Being held over a drop of that scale for a few seconds is sure to get your palms sweaty, and the plunge should offer oodles of floater airtime. It would be highly marketable as the tallest coaster in the Longhorn State, and it would look incredible in this park's skyline, especially if this fills the void left by the recently closed attractions. The park just closed La Vibora and El Diablo quietly. That plot runs alongside the parking lot, so it would build a lot of hype for arriving guests if they see a brand new ride of this scale there. Six Flags Mexico is getting a family thrill boomerang coaster. The key part to decipher there is what the chain classifies as family thrill. Do they count Vekoma's family boomerang coaster, like Snoopy's Soapbox Racers as a family thrill coaster? Or do they count the Flash Vertical Velocity Super Boomerang coming to Six Flags Great Adventure as family thrill? I have not seen the chain use family thrill to describe either ride, but if I'm mistaken, please let me know. My gut tells me they'll go with the Vekoma Super Boomerang. It is no secret that Six Flags Mexico was originally supposed to receive a tilt coaster in 2025. This was a more thrilling addition. The track had appeared on site, but when there were delays getting permits, the chain moved the coaster to Cedar Point at the last minute, where it will open next year as Siren's Curse. Six Flags Mexico is a really strong 1-2 punch with Superman and Medusa's Steel Coaster, but there is a huge drop-off after that. Another dynamic coaster like a Super Boomerang would really help that lineup. I just do not like the capacity for the park because Six Flags Mexico pulls high crowds. Now let's talk about the big kahuna, Six Flags Great Adventure. They are listed as receiving a multi-record-breaking launch coaster. This should be a significant addition. It is no secret the park recently closed a lot of rides. They recently shared a press release confirming that Green Lantern, the Parachutes, and Twister will all be removed. Permits were found for their demolition already. They also listed in the article that the Skyway will be removed too, but no permit has been found as of yet. Then more notably, they said that Kingda Ka will be retired, not removed, and there was no mention of Zumanjaro. That ride's fate seemed to be paired with Kingda Ka because it's on the same structure. This left some hope that Kingda Ka would be renovated. Cedar Point turned Top Thrill Dragster into Top Thrill 2 in 2024. The once record-breaking hydraulic launch was traded out for an LSM swing launch. This allows the ride to have the world's fastest backwards launch at 101 miles per hour, and the world's fastest swing launch at 120 miles per hour. This renovation was not done by the original manufacturer in Intamin. It instead was done by Zamperla, who had never built a ride of that scale, not even close. And unfortunately, the ride operated for just a few days before major issues caused the ride to close for the remainder of the 2024 season. The rumored culprit has been the trains. I would have welcomed a reimagined Kingda Ka, but the park clarified this morning that Kingda Ka and Zumanjaro both will be outright removed, not renovated. It is disappointing the world's tallest roller coaster and the world's tallest drop tower both closed without any official send-off. It is possible the issues with Top Thrill 2 deterred another reimagining. That means the replacement will be an entirely new record-breaking launch coaster. And there is one ride on the survey that would satisfy this: a tower coaster. Some parks had a 200-foot version, Great Adventure had a 400-foot tall version listed. This would be a Mack Extreme spinning coaster. It would crush the records for the world's tallest and fastest spinning coaster. And it would also feature the world's first upside-down launch. While it stinks we lose Kingda Ka, this ride honestly sounds better. The Extreme Spinners are incredible rides, and getting one of this scale should result in some crazy forces. My lone concern is related to capacity, because it would be a shuttle coaster. I pray they add a switch track to allow multiple trains to be used at once, if this will indeed be the park's new signature coaster. Great Adventure showed they are willing to open a major new coaster with just one train and flash vertical velocity, but that was planned by the old Six Flags management. Cedar Fair typically prioritizes capacity more than Six Flags. Now let's talk about Six Flags Magic Mountain. Their edition is the vaguest of all. It will be a first-of-its-kind coaster in North America. The key thing to hone on is that this is not a world's first, just a continent's first. So what ride exists elsewhere but not in the USA? Multiple surveys listed an indoor-outdoor dark ride coaster. This is my pick because most other additions seem to be from the surveys. This could be the first multi-dimension coaster in North America. This is an innovative model from Intamin capable of launches, switch tracks, and drop tracks. We have seen a handful of these pop up in Europe. Magic Mountain has a super deep lineup with 20 roller coasters, but they do not have an indoor coaster, so this would fill a very specific niche at the park. And considering the last few coasters have been more of the high thrill variety, this would appropriately be more of a family edition. I just hope they theme it well. What are some other options? These are possibilities, but not my prediction. Magic Mountain could get North America's first full-circuit launched water coaster, if that's not the addition coming to Carowinds or Canada's Wonderland. North America does not have a Mack Striker coaster. I would absolutely love something like Voltron in the US, and we know both Six Flags and Cedar Fair have liked working with Mack. There also currently are not any SNS Access coasters operational, but there are a few coming to Saudi Arabia. This model looks really cool. Six Flags has installed plenty of prototypes in the past, but Cedar Fair has taken a more conservative approach in recent years, so I think this ride could be off the table for now. Where will Magic's new ride go? My guess is where the former Golden Bear Theater was. They demolished it earlier this year. You could easily fit a show building there for an indoor-outdoor coaster. Last but not least, Six Flags Great America is celebrating their 50th anniversary with a new kids area, commemorative events, and park enhancements. I think the latter is the most interesting piece. If we look at what Great Adventure tried to do for their 50th anniversary, they wanted to invoke a sense of nostalgia and improve some classic rides. With Great America, I think there are two obvious candidates. One, Roaring Rapids has barely operated in recent years. It would be fantastic if the park could refurbish this ride and have it available for most of the summer season. Rapids rides are super popular on hot days. 2. American Eagle is an iconic wooden roller coaster with two tracks side by side. But due to structural issues, the ride has not been able to race in many years. The park president recently confirmed they want to keep the ride entirely wooden and hopefully get it racing again. So this would be the perfect time to do so. Cedar Fair worked with Gravity Group recently to add pre-cut track to the racer at Kings Island. They would be a great candidate to fix Eagle. Now it is possible some of these plans could change. For example, Six Flags Over Texas announced they were going to renovate El Aserradero log flume a few years ago, but that never happened. Cedar Fair has a track record of being more consistent and better planning out their additions, so I think these should all come to fruition as stated. So those are my predictions as to what the new for 2026 rides coming to the Six Flags parks will be. What are your thoughts on these additions? Whether it be my predictions or the rides themselves, let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this news video, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.